I have something to set off fireworks about. Julianna'S Perfumes is having a huge 4th of July sale. 24 hours, you can finally try some of those Julianna'S perfumes that you've been dying to try, or restock, stock up, get gifts. Now is the time to shop Julianna'S Perfumes. Hello, my gorgeous ones. Welcome to Aleisha Budget Beauty. My name is Aleisha. Here on my channel, I love all things affordable fashion, beauty, and fragrance. I do hauls, tutorials, reviews, Julianna'S Perfumes videos from time to time, all sorts of fun stuff. So if that sounds good to you, please subscribe, stick around, be a friend. All right, you guys, I'm back from family vacation. I let you guys know that I was going to be gone for a week. I do have some other videos already filmed from prior that you guys will see after this, but Alex from Julianna'S Perfumes asked if I would have time to squeeze this in for the 4th. I know my audience is very interested in Julianna'S Perfumes. I have other videos on them, so I said yes. Sale, me, Julianna'S Perfumes. This is something I want to get done for you guys. So this will be a 24-hour sale. I don't know the specifics on the pricing. Julianna'S is very affordable anyway, $39 for a 40 ml, which is a little bit bigger than your standard 30 ml in these sort of dupe fragrances like Dua has. So very, very affordable. That's all that I know, and that it will be 24 hours. So I'm actually going to share 15 that I haven't talked about recently. I have other Julianna'S Perfumes videos. I did make a playlist. It will be linked if you want to go hear my thoughts on those. Some of my absolute favorites will be in those videos. I just wanted to talk about some that I haven't talked about in the last few videos. So I love these as well. I'm also going to talk about 3 samples that I would like to have full sizes of as well. Also, if you guys join the newsletter, there's a top banner on the site. You can put in your email. You will get info like this ahead of time, so you will know about these sales as well. But let me go ahead and get into these 15 bottles and 3 samples of Julianna'S Perfumes. All right, first let's start with Beautiful Bella Embrace. Real quick, if you don't already know, Alex, owner of Julianna'S Perfumes, he does inspired by fragrances with his own notes added to them to make them a little bit more his own. And then he has his own formulations, own creations, not the inspired bys. So those 3 categories. This one is inspired by Xerjoff's Dama Bianca, but it has some added notes to it that he has added. And I really, really like what he has done with this. I like the OG original very, very much. This isn't too far outside of that original DNA. You have that kumquat, that lime. It's kind of light and airy and powdery and fresh, slightly gourmand, but still perfumey. But I like that he's added a little bit of white rum, some ISOE super to it, a little bit of hibiscus. I feel like it just makes it even more kind of light and fluffy. It's slightly more feminine to me, even though I do think the OG is pretty unisex and not very manly anyway. I don't know, I just really, really like the additions that he's added. And I think especially that white rum. It's not overly boozy. It just gives it something a little bit different from the original DNA. So I really do like this one. That is Beautiful Bella Embrace. All right, you guys, also real quick, I do not have some of the brand new ones. I have my eyes on them as well. I think there's about 3 I would like to pick up from the sale myself. So they are more of his original creations, the new ones that I do not have. So if you're waiting for thoughts on, say, like the last 5, I don't actually have those in my possession. Just wanted to put that out there for you guys in case you're waiting on that. I don't have my nose on them yet. All right, but this next one is Guiding Light. Now, you may have already figured out, name-wise, this is inspired by Amouage Guidance. And I've had this one for a while. I do have a sample of the original. I did have the Paris Corner dupe for a while. I did declutter that recently. I didn't hate it. I just never really reached for it. This is a pretty good dupe. I mean, pretty spot on. This is a fragrance that is very divisive. The original and the dupes. People either think that Guidance was the greatest fragrance of all time. Just so beautiful, so demure, so intoxicating, so elegant. Or people think it smells like all kinds of things. Like all kinds of things. All kinds of things. So inappropriate to say out loud on my channel. I am one of those that's kind of in the middle. I don't think the original is the greatest fragrance of all time. I also don't hate it. I think this is a very, very worthy, very good dupe. I think it's something that I will reach for, I will wear. It's still not my favorite, but neither is the original. I like it though, I really do. You get that hazelnut, obviously. You get some of those florals. I think the rose is really soft in here. I think this is a very, very soft, pretty fragrance. It's just a little bit strange to the nose, and I do think that hazelnut does that for people a lot of the time. It also has some labdanum in the base and some of those kind of exotic notes that make you go, there's something in here I haven't smelled before. And I think that's what people get a hang up on. It's just, it tricks their nose. They're not accustomed to it. It's a unique fragrance. I think it's really pretty. It's very delicate. I do like this. If you're looking for a pretty spot on dupe of it and you don't want to spend the money, then I think Guiding Light is a perfect option. All right, next up we have one of the original creations. This is Velvet Mirage. I like this one a lot. This is saffron cashmere to me. It's got this really soft woodiness to it. The saffron is sweet, but it's not cloying. It's simple to me. I don't get a very, very complex scent out of this, but I like it for that reason. I think sometimes when saffron is mixed with a bunch of other things, either the saffron gets lost in it, or sometimes it becomes a little bit muddled with the other notes. To me, this is just a cashmere wood saffron. There's other things in here. I think there's cotton flower. I think maybe there's something almondy in here. So it's kind of light, airy, fluffy, not really powdery, just light, airy, fluffy, woody, soft saffron. I think it's very, very pretty. This is one that I could see transitioning like summer into fall, just whenever it starts to get nice and cool, but not too cold. It's very comforting and cozy. That is Velvet Mirage. All right, next up we have another original blend. This is Veil of Secrets. So today, when I sprayed this earlier, for a second, I thought, that smells familiar. I thought I was smelling for just a moment, possibly Furson White by Codlage. I had this first before that one, so I never put the connection together. But as this settles down, I thought, okay, wait, no, I'm getting that caramel and a little bit of the chocolate in here. This is very simple. It's coconut caramel chocolate, and I think there's one other note in it, but I think the coconut in here smells very, very similar to the coconut in the Furson White. But I know that if you've smelled Furson White, some people don't like that sort of almond, powdery, kind of dusty quality that fragrance has. I really love it, but not everyone does. This doesn't have that. There's also a slight reminiscence to Petra, Lattafa, but not exact. It's just, if you've smelled the coconut in both of those, it has a similarity to this one. But as it sits and dries down, that caramel kind of warms things up and smooths things out, and it kind of takes it to a different place. I think it's really, really pretty. That is Veil of Secrets. All right, next up we have a combined inspired fragrances. This is Miss Independent with Rum Drizzled Apples. So it is Killian's Princess mixed with apple brandy. And I think this is just beautiful. I love both of those fragrances. I also have the Inspired By of both of those individually by Julianna'S. But I just think the combo is so fun and so pretty. I love this. You got this tangy apple. You have the tea that I love in Princess. It's fresh, it's crisp, it's not too boozy. I don't think like apple brandy, it kind of cuts into that. This is like fall apples drizzled, and there's that tea in the background. It's cozy. Oh, it's fall in a bottle to me. I love it so much. This is a fantastic blend of two fragrances. That is Miss Independent with Rum Drizzled Apples. All right, next we have Dusk and Suede. I do think a lot of Julianna'S perfumes are fairly feminine smelling. This one I would say is, or unisex. This one is unisex, I think leaning ever possibly slightly masculine, but not overly masculine whatsoever. But if you're a man watching and you're thinking like, well, I want something with a slight masculine edge, I do think this has that. I think the vetiver and the base kind of gives it that quality, and the patchouli. So yes, this does have patchouli in it, but I just think it's blended so well. You have citruses at the top. You have some raspberry, a little bit of a floral element going on. It does kind of give this essence of suede, even though there's not a suede note in here. I think it's really pretty, elegant, classy, elevated, a little bit understated. This is like your cardigan, like a nice men's cardigan sort of a scent. Maybe a little suede jacket even. I think it's really, really pretty, especially for upcoming cooler months. That is Dusk and Suede. All right, next up we have London Fog. This is inspired by Gris Charnel, BDK's Gris Charnel. I love this one. I do. I love all the dupes pretty much of this fragrance. I do have a sample of the OG. All of the dupes last longer. The OG does not last long on me. So if you've ever tried Gris Charnel and you love it, or you thought, I love this, but it doesn't really last, this is going to last longer because it is that Extrait. I do think this is also one, again, that's unisex, maybe leaning slightly masculine. But oh my, I know so many women that love this DNA. You have the cardamom, you have the tea. It's mysterious. I mean, fog really should be in the name of this. I just pictured like rain drizzling, fog. It's elegant. That mysterious classiness to it is so pretty. It's one of my favorite fragrances, whether it's this one or the others, but I do think he's done such a good job on this dupe. It's the Extrait. It's going to last so much longer than the original. Fantastic fragrance, London Fog. All right, next we have Inner Beauty Exclusif. So this is a dupe of Delina's Exclusif, Perfumes de Marly. I have always let it be known that I'm not the biggest Delina fan. I like the flankers more than the original. I find the original to be really hard for me to wear. It's just screechy, in my opinion. I don't think it's very smooth. I really don't my nose doesn't understand that fragrance very much. I like this one so much better. I think the incense in here with that Turkish rose and that pear at the top, the lychee, it's so elegant. It's classy. It's missing that screechiness. The incense makes it a little bit more of this mysterious lady vibe. Still feminine, beautiful, smells expensive. I would never pay. I know the bottles are pretty, Perfume de Marly. I know, Perfumes de Marly. But this is done so well. I don't need to pay that. So that is Inner Beauty Exclusif. All right, next up we have Double Decadence. This is inspired by Guerlain's Double Vanille. I love this fragrance. This is another one of those mysterious ladies of the night, fall, wintry sort of vibes. It's feminine. It's kind of that femme fatale to me. There's something about when you put vanilla and incense together that always gives me that vibe. And I just think that this is like you see this darkened woods and you see this gorgeous, beautiful lady in a cloak coming out from the shadows, but she's so beautiful that you kind of disregard her darkness and you're automatically under her spell. That is what I get from this. I know when I go into that, it's always very specific, but I picture that. I picture this foggy woods and this beautiful, mysterious woman just emerging from the shadows. I think it's so pretty. Love that incense. A little bit of floral in here. The rose is so soft. It's really that vanilla, a little benzoin, and the incense that does it for me with this fragrance. I just think it's so beautiful. One that's perfect for colder months. It has a cozy vibe to it too. That is Double Decadence. Okay, next up we have Aura Extrait. So this is inspired by Baccarat Rouge 540, the Extrait. I like this more than the original. I think it's the bitter almond in here that I enjoy so much. It takes a little bit of edge off. Before I was saying saffron and what saffron can kind of do to a fragrance, I've grown to like certain inspired bys of BR better than the original. And The original, it's just that saffron in it I've come to just, I just don't know. I just don't enjoy it to my nose as much anymore. But the bitter almond in here kind of takes that forefront, that seat, kind of kicks a chair out from under the saffron, and it has the woodiness to it, and I think it's just beautiful. I prefer it over the original so much. I think it's a gorgeous fragrance. This is Aura Extrait. All right, next up we have Delicious Dreams. This is inspired by Dior's Feuille de Lachou, and I believe that is a discontinued fragrance. If I'm wrong, you guys can correct me, it's fine, but it's kind of one of those beloved cult classics. I really, really enjoy this fragrance. This is another one that I think men would enjoy. This has a lot going on. I really get that sour cherry in this. I also get those aromatic qualities like the lavender in here. It has a woodiness to it. It's kind of a dark academia type of fragrance. This is one that I picture a man in a really nice suit, but I think a woman can pull it off as well. Maybe she's wearing a leather skirt and a little bustier top in her heels. Maybe she has like a leather jacket on her shoulders resting, her hair slicked back in a bun, her high heels. That's what I get from this. I think it's so pretty, but I think a man, it would smell amazing on too. If you like that kind of dark academia, that you're in a lounge, cigar smoke around you, but it doesn't smell like tobacco, I think that you would really love this. That is Delicious Dreams. Okay, next up we have another one that I realized I did grab quite a few that are fairly masculine, unisex, but could lean masculine, but women, like, I love these, so you can wear them too. But if any men are watching, or, you know, husbands, boyfriends, whatever, I really, really love this one. This is inspired by Fragrance de Bois Minute et Demi. So that is like a $300 fragrance. Obviously, way, way cheaper here. Anytime you have pimento in a fragrance, not anytime, but almost anytime, I'm going to love it. I love pimento in a fragrance so much. Just my nose loves it. This also has some coffee, some cardamom, some woodiness to it. It's so unique and sexy. And it's that pimento always, though, whenever it shows up in a fragrance, it makes you go, wait, what is that? What are you wearing? What am I smelling? It smells so good, but I know it now. I know when I smell pimento what it is. But before I knew that's what I loved, it's just a note that stops me in my tracks and I want to know what it is. I love it in this fragrance. I love it in Penhaligon's Changing Constants. That's one of my favorites. I love it in Nopalera. They have a fragrance as well. The brand Nopalera. Bosque de Mystique. That one has a pimento note in it. It's just, I'm a sucker for it. So I'm not surprised that I love this. This kind of has that also dark academia sort of feel as well, but with that punch and uniqueness of that pimento that I love so much. So that is Time for Romance. Next is Sicilian Sweetheart. This is a dupe of Xerjoff's Lyra, which I do have a bottle of. For the longest time, I always thought what my nose was smelling in Lyra when I first got it, and when my nose was a little bit more green, I thought I was smelling lemon. I smelled a lemon pound cake whenever I bought that fragrance. This is actually a blood orange fragrance, and there is something about it that when you first smell it, you do kind of get that lemon pound cake vibe. And I know some people think Devotion smells like Lyra, but the more that my nose has gotten sharper, even smelling this, I smell blood orange, not lemon. And I think that that's such a beautiful thing because it doesn't seem so repetitive. It doesn't smell like Devotion to me or all of those dupes. This is soft, gourmand, smelling somewhat, but also really perfumey as well. I think it is done so, so beautifully. I think this has made me appreciate Lyra more. And maybe I just like this one better than actual Lyra. So that is Sicilian Sweetheart. All right, next up we have Call Me By Your Name. This is inspired by a Guerlain gourmand cooking fragrance. Cooking. I looked up how to pronounce that, and then Google doesn't know what I'm talking about. But I do know that that is a fragrance that I don't think is available anymore, that is highly reviewed. People love it. Very expensive. This is such a perfumey, realistic chocolate fragrance. I'm getting so much chocolate out of it, but I get a little bit of florals as well. You get some, I believe maybe it's benzoin in the base. It's so pretty. This is how you make a chocolate fragrance. Very wearable, very pretty, intoxicating without smelling straight up like food, like a chocolate factory. It's very, very, very pretty, and it smells very expensive. This is that lady with like all the jewels, the fur or fake fur, as I would have fake fur, but that I pretend cost a whole lot of money, and all the jewels. She walks in, she's elegant, classy. Oh, it's so pretty. If you want a perfumey chocolate fall wintry type of fragrance, this is going to be for you. Call me by your name. Okay, last of the full-size bottle is Miss Independent. So this is just the Princess, Killian Princess inspired by. So that other one had the apple brandy mixed in with it. This is just by itself. I wanted to include it because I just think it's so pretty, so well done. Gorgeous. It's such a pretty tea, peach, ginger fragrance. It's soft, it's feminine. You feel like you're sitting down to have tea with a princess, or you are a princess. It's really, truly perfectly named by Killian, but Miss Independent's a great name too, and it's a fantastic, much more affordable dupe. Okay, now we have the 3 samples, and I do have notes on them. These are samples that I would like a full size of, and then like I said, there are some I have not smelled of his newer original blends that he created, so I'm curious about, I think, of 3 of those as well. This is Drunk on Desire. It is lemon, mandarin, orange, cardamom, violet, patchouli, vanilla, and musk. I really, really enjoy this one. I think this one smells very expensive as well. Definitely get that citrus. That violet's really beautiful in here. I'm a violet lover, so it's no wonder I really like this. That cardamom adds a little bit of mystique to it. The patchouli doesn't bother me in this whatsoever. I think it just makes it a little bit stronger. I think it's a really beautiful fragrance. This is one that I kind of feel like you could wear this one year round. Not too heavy for spring and summer, but it has a kind of cozy, like woody almost element to it as well for the colder months. Then we have Vanilla Praline Muse. This is caramel, praline, and vanilla absolute. So very, very simple. I really enjoy the nutty in this, the nuttiness of this. And then that caramel makes it really smooth. The vanilla, it's just a perfectly balanced fragrance. It reminds me so much of the praline and pistachio that went viral from TJ Maxx a couple years ago. I do have that fragrance, but it smells like a more expensive version of that fragrance, if you know that one. If you've always been on the hunt for it because it was so hard to find, this is a more classy version of that fragrance. Then we have Starlit Halo. This one doesn't have the notes on it, but I remember when I got this, we didn't have the notes yet. Some of my Julianna'S friends and I were trying to figure out what's in here. Is it something citrusy at the top? Is it grapefruit? What is this? It turns out there is grapefruit. There's also some peach and lemon in here. And then there's carrot, which my nose did not pick up at first. And I have quite a few fragrances now with carrot in it. Carrot usually adds a little bit of sweetness, a specific type of sweetness to a fragrance, but sometimes it adds a little bit of a vegetal quality. And I think in this one, it's giving it that little bit of something vegetal that you're not sure. Not quite rhubarb, not as sharp as rhubarb can be, but the carrot in here is not super sweet. I think it is a little bit more vegetal. So it's kind of a strange fragrance in a way that my nose appreciates, but is probably for a more seasoned nose because it does smell pretty niche, but it's not not too weird. It's just different and unique enough that makes me really, really enjoy it. And it has a slight like little woodiness to it too. So that is Starlit Halo. But you guys, those are the 15 bottles and 3 samples I decided to share just to get ready for this sale for you guys. Like I said, if you want to go see my other videos, I've talked about so many others that I love so much. This is a fantastic house at already an affordable price, but now he's having this big 4th of July sale. Now is the time to try it. I do want to put a little disclaimer out there. It's a very, very small team. You always get your order. No one ever is missing their order. They are so good about letting you guys know that they're on it, but it does take a little bit longer to deliver than some of those massive big sites. And it's because they're a small team. And I mean, these are really quality fragrances and some hard work behind it. So please give a little bit of grace on your delivery time. You're going to get your fragrances. You might have to just wait a while, especially after big sales, because things do sell out. This is a beloved brand. Just keep in mind that little bit of grace, and you're going to really, really enjoy it whenever you get your package. Let me know what you plan on picking up in this sale, or let me know what your favorites are. I thank you so much for watching. And as always, have fun shopping, budget shopping, and smelling fabulous. Bye.